Thank you for joining us. Jennie, she's president of the National Immigration Forum, and it is a tense situation. And now on a Friday, we still don't know how the whole thing is going to be resolved, especially with regard to this Shelby Park situation. Biden administration said today's the deadline. Where is this all going?
Sure. Thank you for having me. Yeah, it is very complicated. However, we have solutions at our fingertips. Congress can absolutely dial down the tension and the rhetoric by sitting down and really putting together solutions that help us remain, safe, orderly, and humane. And so we are a large country with large resources, and we have the ability to solve these issues.
Well, I think the issue there, though, is you have President Trump, former president, jumping in on this during the week and basically derailing what were the border talks and a compromise that was coming together in the Congress. I put up a retweet from the National Immigration Forum here that it's been 38 years since Congress passed meaningful immigration reform. We don't want Congress to act. The tweet said, we need Congress to act, but Congress is not going to act, at least this current composition of the Congress, with the former president running for president again, basically saying, don't do a deal.
Yeah, I mean, we're still waiting to find out. We still hear that folks are speaking, Republicans and Democrats are speaking about border solutions. They're speaking about enforcement first. Enforcement only solutions, which we know won't actually solve the entirety of the problem. We'd like to see enforcement first, and then also other parts of the process and the other parts of the issue being solved. I can't speak to the candidates' remarks, but definitely we know that what's being proposed right now won't solve the issue. And we also know Americans actually aren't where our leaders are telling us that they are. 86% of Americans want, even as recent as last month, conservatives, Republicans, and evangelicals polled saying that they want Republicans and Democrats to solve this together in a way that continues to be humane, to make us a country that welcomes those that are tired and hungry, as we have for hundreds of years, but also that's safe and orderly. And so what we're seeing is our politicians are in a rhetoric political war, but American people aren't with them.
But there's such division that it's literally almost down the middle today. If you think just about how that map is shaping up and the way that Governor Abbott in Texas has kind of made it an us against them, us being Texas versus the federal government, then you get 25 other governors to jump in. And, math-wise, there's the map. It's 26-24, right? You have Texas plus 25 against the 24 other states. If you look at it that way, that makes this already divisive issue even more divisive, right? How do we come back?
That's right. But I will say that, the immigration system must stay federal. And there's a lot of reasons for that. One of the main reasons is that if it's federal, then it takes into consideration our foreign relations and national security implications, which is a lot more than we get to hear about on the regular public basis. But it's a very important consideration. It must be collaborative. It cannot be local. And also in the state of Texas, Governor Abbott has had a lot of pushback, primarily from evangelical women who are pro-life, who are saying, we don't want this type of treatment. We want more nuanced solutions, not razor wire and buoys, but we want to sit down and say, how can we help people that are fleeing? What do Americans need? What do we want? And how can we resource our system that is orderly and safe?
Well, you make a key technical point, I suppose, as someone who's worked on this issue for a long time, and that federal law supersedes the local law or always has, right? I mean, you've had experience, and that's been your experience?
Always has, yeah. That is right. And we actually work very closely with the Law Enforcement Immigrant Task Force, which is several hundred police chiefs and sheriffs across the country. Lots of red and purple places to be considered as well in that mix. Right. And they have always said, we need to be able to police our area in a way that's safe. And so we need to be able to lean on the federal government to be able to support the solutions and answer these things so that we can focus on community policing. And so that's really what we need to see here so that we can get away from this tension, get the resources we need to help Governor Abbott and others to be able to process this in a safe, orderly, and humane way.
Yeah, it's interesting. Even if, by the way, if you, in your political beliefs or your advocacy on the issue, don't agree with the federal law, that's still true, that it would supersede the local law, which is a big part of this issue. Jennie, thank you for your perspective on it all. We appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.